Have you boys ever heard of SCP-001? It is one of the first ever SCPs found by the SCP Foundation, and today we're gonna learn a little bit more about it.
The guerrilla soldiers fire their rifles blindly into the jungle. They don't know what exactly they're shooting at, but something is out there among the trees.
What is it?
Something they can't
I think it's
see.
gonna be Bigfoot.
Something.
Comment down below
that's
what you think it
killing
is.
them. One of the young soldiers, barely more than a boy, stops to reload. As he pulls the magazine from his rifle, a blur passes by.
Oh no.
God.
The
That's gotta
soldier
be
next to
Bigfoot.
him suddenly drops to his knees, clutching
No,
his
it's
neck,
way too fast to
blood
be
pouring
Bigfoot.
out between his fingers.
Bigfoot's pretty fast.
A hand grasps the boy's shoulder,
Adam,
and he spins
it's
around,
even
nearly
scarier
opening
than
fire
Bigfoot.
on his commander. The older man tells him they've got
It's
to
a guy with a
go, and the
mustache?
boy joins a small group of soldiers who start running through the jungle,
Where even
trying
are
to get
they?
away from whatever this thing is. As they run, there's another flash of movement, and one of the soldiers is pulled into the trees. He can hear his screams mixed
getting
with
killed
otherworldly
one
by
shrieks.
one.
This is
There's
definitely in
nothing they can
Vietnam.
do. It's already too late for
It's
him.
in even worse, Adam,
Another soldier
South
disappears
America.
into the trees with a blur.
How's that worse?
Just him and the commander
I don't
now.
know.
They emerge from the jungle into a clearing that contains a small abandoned
no!
farm. The commander motions for them to head towards the old farmhouse, and the two take cover around the corner of the home. They crouch with their guns ready, peeking around the corner,
a
looking for
horror
any
movie right
sign
now,
of the
what the heck?
monster that's killed so many of their comrades. The boy wants to know what they should do. He opens his mouth to ask the commander, but he puts a finger to his lips and motions for the boy to keep watching.
I have a feeling that this guy's the SCP. Like, the way that the mustache dude's acting is kind of sus.
How? He's guiding him to safety.
Adam, they are so scared right now in like a life or death situation. He's the only one keeping the squad together.
The boy just asked his commander what to do, and then he goes like,
Yeah, he's telling him to be quiet, you dummy.
There's an SCP hunting them down like a predator.
so you guys don't think it's Bigfoot?
No, it's definitely not Bigfoot, Adam. I've also seen this video before, and I can tell you for sure it is way, way scarier than any Bigfoot you're thinking of.
Oh gosh.
Oh gosh. Okay.
The
Thanks
boy
for watching,
peeks around
guys.
the corner of the house.
We're done,
but
right?
He doesn't see anything emerging from the tree
Nope.
line.
We're
It's
just getting
quiet
started.
until the commander begins to scream. The boy turns to see a point
no.
forming on his chest. It's a black
I told
circle.
you! I
No,
told you!
Not black, something darker.
He's turning to the
It's like
SCP.
What is
the
that?
absence
Is that a
of
black
any
hole?
It's a
other
black
light.
hole.
The commander screams louder as the point
It might be
of
Iron
darkness
Man. What?
grows. The commander's
What is
screams
happening?
fade out, even as it looks like he continues to yell. The boy watches as the commander seems to be collapsing.
What?
Sucked
It is a
into
black
the
hole.
orb in his chest.
It is.
That is
The commander's body
nasty.
folds in on itself,
He's
growing
spaghetti-fying.
smaller and smaller until it disappears completely into the black hole, which vanishes along with him.
So what do you guys think just happened?
I think the SCP just summoned a black hole to spawn inside of that guy's belly, and then it sucked him. That's like the most overpowered power of all time.
I think that my first prediction was right. That is the SCP, and he's acting like, oh, I'm getting sucked in black hole, but he's really a teleporter.
No, Adam, no.
Now he's
You're
gonna
so
wrap
wrong.
around. He's gonna get the little boy.
I don't want to spoil anything, but you guys could both be right.
I knew it.
The boy doesn't know what he just saw, but he doesn't have time to think.
There he is.
Because emerging from the
Ooh!
forest,
Same
What is
guy,
that?
same mustache.
That's not Bigfoot, I
the
told
boy's
you,
never
dummy.
seen anything like it, and runs into the
His
farmhouse.
feet are pretty
He
skinny.
locks the door and pushes the old
It's
kitchen table
Littlefoot.
in front of it, trying to barricade it as best he can.
Wait, but he opened the door this way.
Yeah, wait.
How does putting a barricade on that side of the door do anything?
He's
Situation,
scared
he's
now.
not
He's just a little
thinking
boy.
logically.
He's not a genius. I'll
doesn't
have
make
a
any
IQ like
sense.
you.
What do you want him to do, huh? Grow a brain?
I don't know, dude. Something better than that.
He looks around.
Maybe
and
the
spots
SCP
a
will
bed
feel bad
against the
for him
wall.
because he's a little
It's
special.
the best hiding spot he can find. So he runs and slides under the bed, pulling himself as
gosh.
close to the wall
That's
as he can.
gonna work.
The boy watches and waits, unsure of what he should do. It's quiet. There's no more screaming of soldiers being killed or any more of those guttural animal-like squeals.
What are these random houses
Maybe it
doing in the middle
decided
of
to
nowhere?
go back to wherever it came from. The boy doesn't dare come out from under the bed, though, as he watches the door, waiting for something to burst through.
I'm so
He sees
scared.
On my
something else.
toes.
Another of those
No!
black spots appears in the middle of the room.
Not another black hole!
I would try to
Bends
eat it
the
at this
light
point.
around it, distorting the room nearby.
What? Why would you try to
The
eat
boy
it?
watches from under the bed as out of the point, a thin black limb.
No! Run, dude!
Then another.
Is it a
You
spider?
can see its strange pointed
It's
legs
Slender Man.
with no feet
Oh
standing just in
my
front of the
God.
bed.
Oh,
now.
it might be Slenderman.
With a high-pitched cry, the creature
That is
effortlessly
nasty.
tosses the bed aside.
Oh my
Oh,
The boy
gosh.
is
no.
left exposed,
They found him.
cowering against
like a
the
No,
wall.
he's
cockroach.
exposed.
The creature screams, opening its wide mouth that seems to split its
Ow!
eyeless face in two,
That is disgusting.
revealing 2 rows of jagged teeth. The boy screams back, crying in fear, and sees that the creature isn't
Try and
eyeless
fight
after
it.
all.
Do
Inside
something.
its grotesque mouth, A milky blue
Punch its
ball
Whoa.
appears.
flipping
There's
nose.
no iris, but the boy
Is he
knows
gonna
whatever this
Kamehameha?
thing is. It's
I
looking
think
at
so.
him.
Is that Goku?
The boy feels his chest grow tight. He looks
no.
down to see that one of the black points is
Oh,
slipping.
GG's. GG's, it's
Yeah,
over.
Himself being
GG's.
squeezed and crushed,
How
pulled
do you even
down
beat
into
something
this
like
singular
that?
point.
You
All
can't.
noises, including his screams,
Bro.
disappear as he is pulled into
That's
this soundless
insane.
void.
Oh my
Then he
gosh.
hears something again. He looks up to see that the creature is being riddled with bullets.
Yeah!
It turns
Oh.
to escape and bursts through the wall of the farmhouse.
Oh, someone just
The
saved his
dark
life.
orb
Who
on
was
the
that?
boy vanishes.
Wow.
And he sees, standing in the
Mustache Man.
doorway, his friend and savior.
How
He
did he? How
clutches
is he
his
still
bleeding throat
alive?
with one hand, holding his rifle in the other. The boy rushes to him as he collapses to the floor.
He
Blood
saved
is
his
pouring
life.
out of his neck,
Wow.
and he can no
But
longer
he's gonna
speak.
die.
But he dies knowing he saved his young friend. The boy starts to feel very tired, and he sits down next to his dead hero.
He's the lone
He's
survivor.
all alone now. His entire group of freedom fighters now wiped out by this
That's
demon.
crazy.
The boy feels nauseous and dizzy. He coughs into his hand and looks down to see that it's covered in his own blood.
No,
A
no.
group of boys run down a jungle.
Is this a whole nother story now? I think we're time jumping in the future.
That is one of the first instances of the prototype being documented. And there's a few more that we're going to get into. And then Dr. Bob's going to tell us a little bit more about the prototype and his abilities.
I did not expect it to look like that. That is like ugly.
Yeah, it kind of looks like a Demogorgon combined with like a 4-year-old infant.
Laughing and playing when they suddenly stop and grow quiet. There's something up ahead
That's
of
like
them.
us.
It's a man lying on the side of the road.
Who
The boys
dat?
look scared, unsure if they should check it out.
I
But
think it's
then
gonna
the
be the
smallest of
mustache
all of
man.
them emerges from the group and bravely marches up to the man.
Mustache man.
Yeah, where does he
Not
go when
wanting
he
to let
hops
the
in
youngest
black
of their
hole?
friends make them look like cowards. The rest of
We
the
don't
boys
know.
soon follow. The man on the side of the road is moaning and looks to be in
Doing the
pain.
worm.
As they get closer, they can see that he must have been in a terrible accident. His skin is gray, and it looks like his long, thin arms only have
No,
3
no!
fingers. What should they do?
I think this is
The small
Voldemort.
boy
You
picks
gotta
up a
run at
stick
that
and
point.
reaches out with it to poke
No,
the
don't
man,
poke
it.
not
Avada
wanting to touch him with his own hands. But before
It's
he
Harry
can,
Boulder.
the man
no,
rolls
don't
over,
touch it.
opening his mouth
Dude!
with a glassy blue eye
As soon as you see the
inside.
fingers, you don't
The
go near
boys
that
turn
thing.
and run, hands over their ears. Several weeks later, the small Guatemalan
Wait, guys. I think he might have been weak because it was like, it's daytime. It was daytime.
So?
And so maybe he couldn't get up and run and stuff, you know?
Maybe
not?
it's a nighttime
Ooh.
nocturnal hunter.
Maybe he was just napping during the day, you know?
Could. Or maybe he doesn't attack children.
It's like a zombie in Minecraft. Okay, I understand.
Yeah.
They're in
small
Guatemala,
Guatemalan
by the
town
way.
holds a meeting. The crowd of people in the room are
I don't know where
angrily
that is.
yelling at the mayor, who stands at a podium,
South
demanding
America?
answers from him about what happened to their dead
I
or
think so.
missing loved ones. A series of photos are hung on the wall behind the mayor in remembrance of those who have disappeared into the forest.
A lot of bald
or
guys.
Those were the
mysteriously
little
died from
boys.
a rapid illness, including the brave young boy.
Oh no.
Wait, there was still
One man
missing?
shouts at the mayor, wanting to know
Yeah,
where
they're
his daughter
missing.
was.
And or
Another
dead.
asks how her healthy husband could drop dead from an illness after being perfectly healthy only days before. The mayor tries to calm the frustrated townspeople, telling them that he knows there have been rumors of a demon out in the forest, but that's all they are, rumors. The mayor warns them, though, that something is out there, though he doesn't know what. There is an animal or man that is making people sick. It may also be hunting people. Neither he nor the police know exactly what is going on. But there is good news. A group of men have come to help them.
Is that the
The
SCPs
mayor points
right there?
towards a stern-looking
Yes,
man
it
in a
is.
military uniform who is standing with a small group of other soldiers and a
There we
scientist off to the side of the stage. The mayor explains that this man, General Machoy, is from America.
Yeah!
And that he's going to help them. The crowd doesn't cheer in the way that the mayor seems to
Get
have
those guns
expected,
going.
But they at least stop their yelling as the general steps to the podium and thanks the mayor for the introduction.
How do you trap
The
a
general
creature
looks
that
over
has
the
a black
crowd who are
portal?
waiting and hungry
They can
for
teleport
answers about
anywhere.
the monster that's suddenly
They don't
begun
know yet.
plaguing their town. He tells them that it is true that he's been sent here by the US government in order to investigate what's been happening and stop whatever threat is out there in the jungle by any means necessary. He can't promise that he'll be able to bring back any of their missing
nasty.
loved ones, but he can at least prevent whatever this is from taking any more.
What would your strategy be to capture this thing?
Well, I'd probably have to send a lot of D-class personnel at it, and then maybe confuse it. Like I send 100, like, you know, just like criminals at it, and then it's gonna like start spawning in black holes, and then eventually it'll tire itself out, and then it'll take a nap, and then that's when I tranquilize it, and then I take it away.
So pretty much you'd sacrifice human life to capture it.
That's the only way to do it.
That's messed up, Jack.
Messed up, Jack.
Gotta do
real
what you
messed
gotta
up.
do in the world of SCPs.
I would take take everyone's favorite puppies and I get them all in a group and then I'd sacrifice them.
What? That's so much worse.
What's that? Wait, that's worse?
How's that worse?
Comment down below. Jack's crazy.
Why do they have to be your favorite puppies? Can't they just be like my least favorite?
Sacrifice.
We don't even know if this thing
He then gestures to the rest of his group and tells the crowd
Sacrifice!
that the men he has brought with him have been specially trained to deal with this exact type of situation, and that they don't need to worry any longer. The only thing everyone needs to do is stay out of their way, and all will be taken care of. With that, he walks off the stage as the crowd erupts into more shouting.
I'd be so
General
confused.
Machoy stops at the scientists waiting next to the stage. Well, Dr. Ketter, what do you think? The scientist adjusts his glasses and answers, "This is what we've been preparing for. The overseers kept telling us this day would come. It looks like it finally has." The group of soldiers led by General
All right, here's
Machoy
their plan.
make their
Let's
way
see.
through the dense forest.
He's got a bazooka.
Dr. Ketter is just ahead
What are
of
they
us.
gonna do with
This
that?
is
using a
exactly what they were
Geiger
doing
counter to follow the
before.
What happens
creature.
if you shoot a
The audible
bazooka into a
clicks of
black
the
hole?
radioactive entity
It
telling
goes
him which
through
way
the
it
black
came.
hole and then back at you.
They track the source of the radiation
comes out
to
your
a
butt.
clearing in the jungle where a small village once stood. Most of the buildings are overgrown
way
with
more
plants
houses than
and
before.
thick vines, but with it growing dark, it
It's a different
seems as safe a
location.
place as they will find to make their camp for the night.
Oh no.
The soldiers fan out to search what's left of the town as Dr. Ketter continues looking
Please.
around for where the
go
radioactive
by
trail
yourself.
might lead them next. As General Machoy is checking out one of the many dark old buildings, one of the older soldiers cries out, "Hey General, it looks like this generator still works." With the sound of an old diesel motor coming to life,
Why would
lights
they
in the
ever go
village
here at
suddenly
night?
flicker on.
What are they doing?
Now
They have
it's
to
dark
hunt this
visions
thing down.
and light. Though he'd never admit it, General Machoy was feeling nervous about spending the night in the jungle.
Me
But
too.
now at least some of those nerves were being washed away by the old flickering yellow lights. Later that
That's even worse now because the monster knows exactly where to find them. The lights are an awful idea. That's terrible.
I don't think that the lights would really matter though. I think that the monster's gonna track them down either way.
No, Alec, you're so wrong. No, they want to sneak attack the thing. They don't want to lure it anywhere.
So they want to find it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't want it to find them. They want to find it and sneak attack
Well,
it.
they gotta do something. What are they supposed to just sleep in the jungle in the middle of the night with no light at all?
Yes.
No, that is why you would never survive a single second in the jungle alone.
I'd put that thing in a chokehold and just...
Oh, Adam, you're so stupid. The prototype is basically like a grizzly bear, dude. It's an animal, and it will sniff you down, and it will eat you from the inside out.
All right, my bad. I didn't know you were a SCP-001 expert.
I am. I'm telling you, this is exactly what they gotta be doing. Also, why do you guys think they have like the radioactive thing?
Because maybe the SCP farts like radioactivity stuff, and it's helping them track them. He's like Godzilla.
That's the worst take I've ever heard.
What?
It's definitely like the whenever it spawns in that black hole or the
Yes.
whatever, it sends off a
Yes.
frequency. It sends off a frequency
Yes.
of energy that they can detect, so they know when it's in the
Yes.
area. Go off, sister.
Preach, Slay King.
Hey.
That night,
Bro, you're
Yes,
the
prototyping
general
right
is
now.
questioning Dr. Ketter on where the
I
creature
got a
went.
black hole for me, if you know what I
Dr.
mean.
Ketter is confused, though. His readings showed high traces of radiation leading into this village. The creature came here, he was sure of it, but now he can't figure out where it went. It's as if it came into the village and then simply vanished. Outside, one of the soldiers on watch
There we
tells the
go.
rest of the group who are
Soldiers
sitting
are gonna
around the
start
fire
dropping.
to shut up, that he thinks he saw something in the woods.
They're going
Everyone
insane.
immediately springs into action, taking defensive positions and aiming their rifles into the dark tree line. There it is again, he says,
Oh.
as a flash of darkness
That's what I'm
moves
talking
just
about.
beyond
Why
the
do it at
clearing.
night?
No, it's over here, says another soldier on the opposite side.
So
How
dumb.
could the creature
so
be
dumb.
moving so fast
scary.
around them? Are there multiple of whatever this is out there?
They need better
The
guns,
soldiers
too.
form a circle to make sure that the thing can't get behind them. What they can't see is the point of
Oh,
darkness.
my God.
between
there
the
it
grenades and
is!
backs,
No!
and the thin
Black
pointed legs
hole!
stepping
And
out
there
of
it is.
The general's radio comes
This
to
is
life.
exactly why you
I
were
think
wrong,
we've got
Alec.
something out here, but his message is cut off by screams and the sound of gunfire. General Machoy tells Dr. Ketter to stay inside and runs out of the building,
That's
where
what
he
happens
finally
when
gets a
you let
glimpse
it
of the
find
demon
you.
that they've been tracking. The tall,
Oh
thin
my
creature is
God.
And there it
massacring his
is.
squad.
That is
Dashes
disgusting.
between them at an
It looks
inhuman
gross,
speed, using
dude.
its three-fingered
It's like a
hands
spider
to rip the limbs
gremlin.
off of some soldiers and slash at
How's it
others with
ripping
its
off
razor
arms and
sharp
legs that
claws,
easily?
opening up their necks or
how
disemboweling
girls
them
think they look
before
like when they
moving
wake
on
up.
to the next. The general
eating them
fires
like
his
a
rifle
bloomin'
at the
onion.
creature and misses, but it's enough to get it to retreat. General
Ew.
Machoy runs back
That thing
inside
is
the building
nasty.
where Dr. Ketter is waiting. What was it? What did you see out there? The general doesn't know how to begin
crazy.
describing the monster
Ew.
that just killed all of his men. It's like
Ew.
nothing he's ever seen before, and something that no amount of training could prepare him for.
There
As
go
the two
all
men ponder what to
soldiers.
do next, the Geiger counter on the table suddenly starts to click,
Here we go.
softly at first, but then more and more,
Oh, that means
as
it's
if a
getting
huge amount of
closer.
radiation has suddenly flooded the room.
Oh my
The
gosh.
general grabs the doctor
It's
and
the black
drags him
hole.
out, leaping out of the building just before it collapses in on itself.
Whoa!
disappearing
Shoot it with
into
the bazooka!
micro-singularity that formed inside.
Shoot the black hole.
The two men look up.
Yeah,
to see it
use
standing
that
right in
bazooka,
front of
bro.
them.
Blow it up.
Its huge
They only
mouth
have one
open
bullet.
to
They gotta use it
reveal
on
its
this guy.
glassy blue eye.
Oh my gosh,
Look
that-
out!
it's
Dr.
clearly
Ketter
British.
cries, but he isn't talking about the demon, as he and the general roll to the side, just avoiding the power line that has been cut loose by the destroyed building.
Oh no. Oh
The power
no.
line hits the ground
Maybe
and
they could
immediately
use that as a
begins to
weapon.
spark, sending out bright pulses of white electrical light. The creature cries out with a gut-wrenching scream and
It hates
collapses
light.
to
Oh,
the
it's getting
ground,
him.
huddling up
Oh,
into
it's
a
getting
ball
him.
as it tries to cover up
Alec,
its
you
mouth
were
with
right.
its
It doesn't
thin
like
arms.
light.
Is
Bazooka.
it the electricity? The general asks, confused
Bazooka.
about what suddenly stopped the killer's rampage. But Dr. Ketter realizes that the sparking
This guy's
power
looking
line
dirty.
creature has been
Get that
immobilized
thing.
by.
Hurry up!
It's the flashing light.
Get him!
The general doesn't wait
Yes!
for his answer, though.
Shoot!
As
Bazooka!
the weighted net
There we
trapping
go.
the
Oh, it's a
howling
net.
creature.
Oh, it's.
They just wanted to capture him, Alec. They just wanted to capture
I was ready
him.
for the
Wait,
biggest
what?
explosion, and it's a
No, no,
I
fucking
thought it was
net.
gonna explode him into bits!
Alex stood up for a net.
Are you
Alec got
serious?
baited.
Sit down. Sit down. It was a net.
Bro, I was so hyped for the
They
bazooka
might-
blast.
they might as well be going
Capture it,
fishing.
not kill it, Alec.
What the
Capture,
heck?
kill,
Alec
love,
was
not
so
hate.
hype over this
Come
bazooka.
on.
I was waiting for the bazooka ever since I saw it.
Let's add our own explosion. Throw in an explosion for Alec.
All right, let's play that again, but let's do an explosion.
Wait for his answer, though. The howling.
Whoa!
Wow, that was so
Dr.
epic
Ketter
and
examines
cool.
the creature at the
Yay.
field research center that has been
Few
set up
days later.
several miles from the village. A strobe light has been
got
affixed
it.
to the inside of the creature's cage, but even when the doctor turns the light off, the grayish-brown skinned entity still remains curled up in a ball on the floor. The doctor wonders if perhaps the
Oh,
creature
it's
is
Shy
hungry,
Guy.
but it shows no interest in any of the various meats, fruits, and vegetables they've
Interesting.
presented to it. The doctor stands in the doorway of the tent that has been set up to house the creature's cage and gives an update to General Machoy, who is anxious to get the creature moved to the United States and a more secure containment environment. Dr. Ketter stresses that he fears the journey might kill this creature, though, and put an end to the incredible research and testing they can perform on this amazing living specimen.
Do you guys think it's better to kill the creature because it's dangerous or to study it?
Study it. Find out how it's making the black holes, and then we can create our own black holes, and then create dark matter, which is what created superheroes such as the Flash.
Alec?
I would just kill it. It's way too dangerous. If it can summon black holes, it could probably suck up the entire world. And we can't have that happen. So I would just kill it and get it away. Pee-poo, boo-boo.
You would have shot a real
General
bazooka
turns
at
to
it.
leave,
I would've
but
shot a
stops to
bazooka
salute
at
the
it.
body of one of his soldiers being carried by on a stretcher. Dr. Ketter himself turns to go back to his research when he notices something. The creature's mouth is ever so slightly open. Dr. Ketter has yet another idea. That night,
What's he
Dr.
going to
Ketter
do?
enters the
He's gonna
temporary
sneak it
morgue
in.
and takes a severed arm from one of the dead soldiers.
Oh.
Back in the research tent, he presents the arm to the creature, sliding it through the cage bars.
No, that's messed
The
up.
creature doesn't react, but Dr. Ketter continues to watch and wait. After a time, the creature finally stirs. It's the first time he has seen it move since it was captured. The creature reaches out with its long three-fingered hand and grabs the arm before starting to feed on
Oh,
it.
it only
Oh
eats
my
human.
gosh.
That is
Dr.
nasty.
Ketter asks, and bizarrely, the creature seems to respond,
Ah!
giving an almost
Nom, nom, nom,
baby-like
nom.
I hate
coo.
this SCP.
There's lots more of that if you behave. All I want is to study you, learn how you work. The creature continues to
Ew.
feed, starting to crunch on the bones now that all the meat is gone.
Ew.
Can't we just give it like
Yes, I
horse
believe
meat?
you'll be good, the doctor says as he approaches the cage. You're going to make me world famous.
Or a chicken leg?
Soon, everyone will know the name Herman Ke. The creature's hand shoots out from
or
between
maybe
the bars
not.
so quickly
Oh,
he
you
never even
are
saw it.
actually so
Dr.
dumb.
Why
Ketter
would he
starts
get
to
that
scream as
close?
it grasps and claws at
Oh
him.
my
A
gosh.
soldier standing guard outside runs in, but a black point of light immediately appears.
Oh, no, no!
Causing him to
Are you
fall in
kidding me?
himself into
Do the
sea
flashing
of
light! Do the flashing
The
light!
creature drops the bloody Dr. Ketter to the
That's
floor,
crazy.
who reaches for the emergency strobe light activation button as another singularity opens up inside of the cage.
Please click
Quick!
it
The
quickly,
creature
quickly,
appears to
quickly.
willfully
Quick!
step into it
And-
before
Too late.
emerging out of
He's
another
gone,
just
he's
outside
gone.
of the bars.
Are you kidding me?
More soldiers rush into the tent in time to
That
see the
doctor's
creature
so
feeding
dumb.
on the still living Dr. Ketter.
Oh my gosh.
One presses the button to activate the high-powered strobe lights, which cause the creature to start screaming and thrashing about, trying to escape the flashing
way.
lights. Multiple nets are fired onto the creature, pinning it to the ground as its screams
Oh, good,
slowly
they
fade
captured
back
it
to
again.
Oh my
embers.
gosh.
On
They gotta get a new
overseer
doctor
orders,
on that.
the creature is moved to ADRX-19, a secure base located somewhere in North America. The site's director
No
gives a
paparazzi.
presentation to a group and explains that thanks to the work of the late Dr. Ketter, they now know that the creature exhibits signs of fear and sickness when in the presence of strobing lights. and that it is unable to produce the microsingularities that it uses for defense and teleportation when it is in this sickened state. When healthy, though, the creature is extremely dangerous thanks to its superhuman speed,
How do they
strength,
contain
and
this thing
cunning.
without the
It was
strobe lights?
also discovered that it is unable
Is
to
that the
teleport
only
when
way?
Need the
led,
strobe
Yeah, but how do
which
they
its
test
new
anything
containment
about it
cell
then?
has been
It's
lined
'cause it's gonna
with,
be sick.
And extreme security procedures have
don't
been
know.
implemented, including the installation of a
can't.
reinforced steel blast door and constant patrols of the outside of the cell by armed guards who are equipped with high-powered strobe lights. The site director leaves the room and the overseers discuss the fate of the creature, which has been given the designation number 86243AR-001, though most have taken to calling it simply 001. One of the overseers argues that the creature must be secured and contained in order to protect humanity. Who
Yes.
knows how many
SCP.
more of these might be out there? They now know that the rumors of these types of entities aren't merely isolated events, and that there could be countless more of these anomalies. Hundreds, maybe
Oh
even
my
thousands.
gosh.
The rest of the overseers unanimously
the sound
agree.
of that.
One of them picks up the report
the
that was
origin
left
story
behind
of
by
how
the
the
site
SCP
director. Redact this
organization was
report immediately
created.
and start a new document archive. This is only the prototype. I have the feeling there will be many more of these.
And there were.
I hope you enjoy.
Wait, that's crazy. That was the first SCP ever?
Well, Adam, you would think that, but there's actually lots more SCP-001.
Guys, I found the creepiest SCP of all time.
What's it called?
It's called SCP-5172, the Body Harvester.
A businessman steps out of his hotel room holding a silver ice bucket. He
looks
looks up and
tired.
down the empty hallway until he spots what he was searching for.
He is
An
pale.
ice machine. He slips his room key into his pocket and heads down the hall towards the machine.
Can I open my eyes yet?
As he waits for the machine to fill his
Yeah,
bucket
you
with
can
ice,
open, Adam.
he glances around and
Oh,
spots
Adam,
something.
you have to see this.
There at the end
This
of the
is bad.
hall,
Oh,
it looks like
no!
someone is
Nope,
sticking
close
their
them
head
again.
out from around the corner, watching him.
What is that? Who
Then
is
they
that?
suddenly disappear.
Ew.
I cannot look.
He doesn't think
I
much of
hate
it.
little girls.
It's probably just some kid playing
creepy.
around.
He's capping.
His ice bucket is only a quarter full. These old machines can be really slow. He looks
Those
around
look like
again
teeth.
and sees the same head poking around
No!
the corner. looking at him.
That's
He
so
thinks it might
creepy.
be a
I really
young
hope that's
girl,
the water
but
in
as he squints
SCP.
to get a better look, she disappears around the corner once again. The ice machine finally finishes filling his bucket. He picks it up and starts
How's
to
he
walk back
unfazed?
towards his room, but stops. He turns around and looks down the hall
No,
to
if
see the
she's there,
same
I'm
girl
leaving.
there again.
No!
watching him.
Oh,
No, I got
no,
creepy,
no, no, no,
unblinking
no, no,
She has
no.
a beard. It looks like she has
You
a
want
beard.
something? The man asks down the hallway, but there's no response from the girl. She simply keeps looking at him. Are you just going to keep staring at me? That's exactly what she does. The businessman is really starting to get annoyed now. All he wanted to do was unwind with a drink after a long day at a job site. Why does this girl want to keep messing with him?
This is insanely creepy. Jack, what would you do with this situation? Would you confront the girl?
Alec, no, I am going right back to my room. I'm turning on the TV, I'm locking the
Yeah.
door, and I'm probably gonna call my mom and tell her to sing me a lullaby so that I can sleep.
That's a great idea. Where did Adam go?
Adam?
Oh my God.
That's weird. He was there a second ago. Oh wait, I
Where
think
did
I
he go?
see him. I think he's under his couch. Do you see him? I think I see him. Is that him? Do you see him? Wait, am I tripping?
Are you serious?
I thought I saw him. Yeah. Wait. He was getting under there. I swear. Do you see him? No.
What is
dude,
going on?
He's definitely there. I can see him.
He's not there.
Adam.
Nah, this is getting creepy. I don't like this. This is getting real creepy.
You're telling me you can't see him? Oh, there.
Oh,
he
he's
is.
back.
Wait, what?
Oh,
I'm safe now.
I was so scared for you, Adam. What happened?
I thought you were under your couch.
I can't watch without my friend.
I thought she got you.
Oh, no, not yet. Who?
The little girl, Adam. The little girl. I thought
The
she
little
got
girl, Adam.
Not
She's
yet.
here.
No, Jack, stop. It's okay. It's
Guys,
okay.
I think I've heard about this SCP, and let me tell you, the little girl is the least of our problems.
He starts walking down the hall towards
you.
her.
Oh, no.
I don't know what you think you're playing at, the businessman says as he walks down the hallway in her direction.
Why is she talking like
When
that?
he gets halfway to her,
She's
she
still hiding in
disappears
the
behind
corner?
the corner once again. But the businessman keeps walking and talking to her. But if you don't stop messing with me, I'll... He rounds the corner and sees nothing.
She's gone.
There's a short hallway that leads to a maintenance closet, but no girl. Did she somehow slip inside the closet?
Nah.
He didn't hear the door, but she couldn't be anywhere else.
Just go back
He
to your
sets down the ice
room.
bucket
Thank
on
you.
the floor and reaches
still has his
towards the
stupid
handle
ice bucket?
with more than a
Go
little
back to
apprehension.
your room.
He feels uneasy
sound like
for
my
some
mom.
reason. and maybe even a little scared.
So guys, at this point, I want you to make predictions. What do you think this SCP does?
I hope, I think she gives out candy and ice cream to everyone that comes in contact with her.
I know what it is, Jack. I know what it is. The SCP is the ice machine, and it's going to suck him in, and it's going to harvest his body.
Okay. No.
Interesting. Well, we haven't seen much. There's only the hotel, there's the man, there's the ice bucket, the ice, and the little girl.
The little girl.
Her name is
exactly.
Adam.
Dude, it's going to get weird.
I
It's
have
going to get
not
weird.
stopped thinking about this little girl.
I'm so
There's nothing
creeped
to be
out.
afraid of. It was just a girl, wasn't it? He grabs the handle and opens the door.
See,
Aha! I've got you.
Get a
There's
weapon or
nothing in the
something.
closet. Just a couple of
She's not
mops,
there.
a
Oh my
bucket,
gosh.
and some
It's a
cleaning
bunch
Where
of
did she
supplies.
supplies.
go?
He pushes the mops aside as if she could somehow
It's like
be hiding
Narnia.
behind them. But no, there's no place to hide or
I'm
secret
creeped
doors
out.
to be found.
I'm very creeped out.
He really must have imagined the whole thing. It was a long day, and a long flight before that. He needed that drink. He sticks his room key into the door and pulls it out. A green light flashes and the lock clicks open. He grabs the handle to open the door.
Okay.
When he realizes
He's fine.
he's forgotten something.
He's fine.
No.
The ice bucket, the whole reason he left his room to begin
No!
with. He walks
Not
back
the ice
down the hallway
bucket!
and past the ice Wait
The
a
ice
second.
machine!
Where's the ice machine? Isn't this where it was? The
Wait,
alcove
Alec,
could
were
have
you
sworn
right?
he got ice just minutes before.
How did that
Is
little girl
empty.
carry that away?
He looks around, up and down the hallway.
Did he eat the ice? Did he actually eat the ice?
Somehow get turned around.
Not
He
yet,
walks to
Adam.
the
Not
end of
yet.
the hall
He did
and
it.
turns
Once
the
he
corner.
eats,
he's
he's
waiting
done.
to put it
Sitting
in his
there on
drink.
the floor in front of the
That's gonna be
maintenance
a
closet
trance.
door.
Don't eat the
How
ice.
did he
is the
get
ice
there?
bucket.
Ice
He
does
looks
taste good,
around,
though. I love
confusion
crunchy
on
ice.
his face, and picks up the ice bucket.
I think I would crunchy ice.
Back
though.
at his room, he puts his room key into the door. The lock flashes
If she's
red.
in there, oh
No.
He
my
tries the key
God.
again,
No.
and once more.
Alec,
it
what are you doing if
flashes
she's
red.
in there?
He tries the key a third time, and as
I'm
he
telling
does
her,
so,
get out!
the door opens. He looks up to see
It
a
didn't
large
flash
man
green.
standing in front of
Whoa,
him.
this
whoa,
guy?
Do you need
Alec.
something? The businessman is confused.
your brother?
What are you doing in my room? He asks. Your room, the large man responds. Yeah, room 237. The large man looks annoyed. He shoves past the businessman and points across the hall. The businessman follows his finger's direction to see that he's pointing at another door, one that has the number 237 next to it.
That's so
oh my gosh,
creepy,
oh my
isn't
gosh,
it?
Oh my gosh, oh my
Wait,
gosh.
isn't that the number of the SCP? Is the room the SCP?
No,
No.
Adam. The SCP is 5172.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Wait, what if this is like the back rooms?
Guys,
like everything is
sometimes-
like moving around.
Sometimes when I'm
The
in a
whole
hotel,
hotel.
it kind of feels like the back rooms because every room looks the same, every hallway looks the same,
Well,
and sometimes I
I'm
get
actually
really
getting creeped
lost,
out.
and sometimes I go to different rooms and then I forget where things are.
You might just
and
have
I
dementia, Jack.
There's something weird about this SCP. It almost feels too real.
We can stop. You don't have to finish.
Guys, I remember this SCP, and I'm telling you,
We can stop.
It gets worse.
We can stop. Okay,
Look
are
on
we
the
stopping?
wall.
Oh, no,
The
no!
businessman looks at the number next to the door he's been trying to unlock.
I just locked my door.
239.
I'm locking in.
The businessman laughs nervously at his mistake as the large man pushes past him again and closes
the
the door
large man.
behind him. Back in his room, the businessman can finally sit down and pour
She was
himself a
back.
drink.
Don't eat the
He
ice.
takes
Do
2
not
ice
eat the...
cubes from the bucket and drops them in his glass before
Why is he
taking a
not
long
more
sip.
shocked that the ice machine is gone? Why
He
is
turns
he
on
okay
the
now?
TV, but after watching for a few minutes, he finds
is
that
it.
he's having a
GG's.
hard time concentrating. Whatever this show
GG's.
is, it
Whoa,
moves too
Some things
fast.
are
What the
wrong
heck
What
with
is he
this
that?
guy.
watching?
What's
Sesame
happening?
Street?
He turns off the
Teletubbies.
TV and picks up
That
a
is
book
not
instead.
Teletubbies.
Maybe
That's
some reading will
Teletubby.
help him to relax and get his bearings. He still feels really off. He opens the book, but gets
Things
confused.
about to get really bad.
Is
I
this
know it.
the
I
same
know
book
it.
he bought in the airport? It
Oh,
looks like it's
no.
written in a
It's
foreign
falling apart.
language. It's just a bunch of squiggles.
Jack, I like your
He
theory about
tosses
the
the
back
book on the
rooms.
table and yawns. It's
That was
not
my
that
theory.
late, but he's feeling really tired.
Good stuff,
He
Jack.
gets up, kicks off
Thanks,
his
Adam.
shoes, and lies down on the bed without bothering to
my
He's
undress.
not waking up. He's
He's
gonna
too
go in some
tired
sort of
for that.
dimension.
Guys,
I know it.
get
I
ready.
know it. I know it. I know it.
Himself for a
Creepy.
moment.
Just get ready.
Guys,
It's
we've
about to
seen
get
some
weird.
really
Get ready.
crazy SCPs. My last theory is that the entire hotel or like apartment complex that he's staying in is the SCP itself. It's the whole thing. Everything is the SCP.
Alec, I'm telling you, you will have your answer in the next 30 seconds.
Oh
Just
gosh, here we
prepare
go,
your
here we go.
eyeballs.
A moment,
don't
half
wanna
awake,
know.
talking about how he needs to return that foreign book when he goes back to the airport. What were they trying to do, selling him something he can't even read? He continues to mumble about the
Oh,
things he'll do
gosh.
to the cashier
Oh,
who sold
no,
him the
no,
book
no,
for a
no.
while until he
Oh,
finally
gosh.
drifts off to sleep. His eyes open.
Oh,
It's dark.
gosh.
Here
He
we
must have
go.
been sleeping for
Here
a
we
while.
go.
The room is
Can't just
cold,
watch a normal
too.
video with the
He goes
boys.
to pull the blankets up over him, but immediately realizes that he can't move. Try as he might,
No.
his body won't respond.
This
No.
actually happened to
Single
me
muscle.
before.
Only his eyes seem to work.
Sleep
He's completely
apnea.
paralyzed. He can't even yell
No.
for help.
Paralysis.
Sleep paralysis!
Maybe there was some sort of poison in the ice.
Guys, has that ever happened to you where you've woken up and you can't move?
Yeah.
It only happened one time, and it was really scary, and I didn't
Isn't
like
it
it
so
at all.
scary? That's the weirdest thing about this SCP is that you could almost seeing it be real. Like a lot of things like this could happen to you. Sometimes you think you see things. Sometimes you can't read. Sometimes you can't move when you wake up.
I thought
All
it
of this
was
has happened
Girls
to
always.
stare at
everybody.
you.
I thought it was always like a dream, but it could be the SCP. This could be a real thing. Which okay, I can't watch this. I'm actually leaving again.
No,
Adam,
stay.
it's gonna be
you have
okay.
to stay.
You-
No,
Adam,
Adam, you have to stay.
dirt
Why do
Adam,
I
you
have to stay? Why do I have to stay?
It's okay, Adam. You have to learn about this SCP so that it never gets you ever.
Yes, just hug your dirt
So
plushie,
it's gonna
Adam.
teach me how to prevent it.
Yes.
What happened?
You promised?
And what is he going to do? Did he have a stroke? Is he dying? As his mind races through all the different possibilities, he suddenly sees something. From his bed in the dark
It's a little
room, he
girl.
can just barely make
scared.
out the door
I'm
to his
scared. I'm
hotel room.
scared.
Do
And
not
he is
come in that room, little
terrified
girl.
by
I will
what he
smack.
can
I don't
see.
care. I will
It's the
smack the little
little
girl.
A
I will
figure
kick her.
appears in the door,
I will punt her 40
literally
feet
in
and
the
she's
door,
teleported through the door.
as if it is phasing through the solid.
No, that's not the little girl.
As the
That is
thing
gold.
enters his room,
That is
it
gold.
should look like
It's a little
acid.
gremlin!
Man wants to scream, but his mouth is still
can't
completely
move.
numb.
My
The figure starts
precious!
crawling
My
through.
precious!
You can see now that it's small, smooth, and completely white. He fights as hard as he can, willing
would
his
die.
body to move.
He can't move. He
But
can't
nothing
move.
happens. He can't so much as whisper. The thing climbs up onto
Nah!
the bed.
Oh
and
my
sits
gosh,
down
no.
right on his chest.
That's
Would
so
you guys close your eyes and
creepy.
keep it open?
Screaming, telling
It
himself
gets
to wake
worse,
up over
boys,
and
it
over
gets
again. as the
worse.
creature
Don't crawl inside of
leans
his mouth.
face in close to his.
No.
It seems as if it is somehow looking
I had
at
the
him
same
with
dream
its
about
smooth,
Alec.
eyeless sockets. It tilts its head slightly to the side and... Welcome. I'm Dr. Bob. But we couldn't be
Ew! He just stuck his tongue in his mouth!
No, Alec, it's worse than that.
No,
It's
how
not
does
his
it, how
mouth.
does it worse? It doesn't get worse.
I can't spoil it for you, but seriously, stick around and find out. No, he didn't,
He
Adam.
just got French, bro.
French kiss.
Oh my
That's my
gosh.
worst nightmare. I hate.
Nope, it's
I
worse
hate
than
it.
that.
Okay, so like, where is this guy staying, and how do I sign up? Nah, I'm kidding. I'm
happier
kidding,
that
guys.
you've decided to stay with us as we delve into SCP-5172, an extremely dangerous anomaly that is known by the extremely non-threatening name of North American Hotel Ice
Guys,
Machines.
it gets
I
trippy.
called it. I knew it was
gets
the ice machine.
trippy from here on
is
out.
a phenomenon that only affects guests staying at hotels located on the North American continent. It is
That's
unknown
us.
how or what causes these guests to become affected, but those that are will begin to notice something. Ice machines in the hallway of the hotel they are staying in.
Seems normal.
Now you might think this sounds
Ice.
perfectly normal. After all, don't most hotels have ice machines? If you just had this thought, then I have some bad news for you, because
Every
there is a
hotel's
high
ice machine.
probability that you too may have been affected by SCP.
We're all infected, boys.
Wait.
If you've seen a hotel ice machine, you've been infected. You got infected, Alec. You are infected.
Well, we all knew
You're
Alec
infected.
had infections.
Yes, many.
What? That's
But not me! Not me!
Adam,
I've actually eaten the ice before. I love just putting it in my hand and eating it.
I'm telling
I do that
you,
all
Adam,
the time.
this video is going to absolutely blow your mind.
I've drank the Kool-Aid.
172. You see, ice machines are actually extremely uncommon in hotels.
Yeah.
And it is likely that you have never actually seen
It's
one.
true.
Or at least, not a real one.
You can't just say
Allow
it's
me
true,
to
Jack.
explain. In the 1950s, the founder of the Holiday Inn chain of hotels, Kenan Williams, had an idea that he thought would set his hotel apart and attract customers, which was to offer more perks and amenities than his competitors.
Good idea.
For example, he implemented a new policy where children would be allowed to stay for free, something most hotels charged extra for.
That's a pretty
Hotels
good
at
idea.
the time also had a policy of making
That's
their
some Michael
guests pay
Jackson
for
stuff.
ice, but Williams decided to change that by installing ice machines in his hotels. Sadly, the marketing stunt didn't work. The cost of the machines wasn't made up for in new customers, and the plan was discontinued by the mid-1960s. The vast majority of the machines were removed, with the rest being pulled from the hotels as they would
expensive
break down,
could an
since
ice
they were
machine
no
be?
longer worth the expense of maintaining.
A lot of money, Adam.
Despite the
I
fact
guess.
that they only existed in hotels for a brief period of time,
All they do is
there is
freeze
still
ice.
a widely held belief among the public that ice machines can be found in nearly every hotel.
So, Adam, do you believe us now? There's no ice machines in any hotels really these days.
Yes, there is. It's in every hotel I go to, pretty much. Wait,
you're
what are you trying to say?
infected.
You're infected, bro. You're infected. Adam, have you secretly been getting Frenched almost every night by some creepy golem guy?
You're not gonna make me say it. That's between me and my therapist.
Stay away from ice machines. That's the only thing I'm learning today.
Say it, Adam.
In a poll of the general population conducted by the Foundation, over 80% of adults claim to have memories of seeing an ice machine
Yeah,
in
me.
a hotel, a number that is quite
Adam,
literally
clearly.
impossible. Just where this mass delusion came from or why it persists is currently unknown. but it's theorized to be related to the SCP-5172 phenomenon in some way. The SCP Foundation first became aware of SCP-5172 in 1973 after a series of unsolved murders occurred at hotels in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada.
What?
Foundation investigators soon discovered the prevalence of false ice machine memories and installed a number of hidden cameras around the hotels in both their public spaces as well as in the rooms themselves.
This is like telling somebody that their grandma's really their uncle.
Or that their grandma was never even real to begin with.
But Mima.
I'm sorry, Adam. This could be the SCP talking.
It was after viewing the footage captured by these cameras that the Foundation finally got their first look
Guys,
at
this
just
gets
what
really,
happens
really
during
weird.
an occurrence of SCP-5172, which has been dubbed a Zalmunna event. The Zalmunna event is triggered whenever a guest at the hotel sees and then uses an ice machine. The moment they use the ice machine, the event cannot be stopped unless certain
all you have to do is
actions
just
are taken.
not use an
But
ice
more
machine.
on that later.
I've always
The
used
targeted
the ice machine.
individual who used the ice machine will immediately begin to have the sense that they are being watched. This usually comes in the form of an unknown individual who appears to be looking at them from the end of the hall where the ice machine is located. Third-party observers are unable to see the person who is supposedly watching the target, nor do they appear on any recording devices, visual or otherwise. The targets have described the watchers in various ways, leading the Foundation to believe that they may actually be nothing more
Edgar
than
Allan
hallucinations.
Poe.
What the heck?
Shortly after, the targeted individual will begin to experience feelings of confusion and fatigue, not
I would see a
dissimilar to the
clown.
symptoms of early-stage dementia. The longer it takes the target to return to their hotel room, the more pronounced these feelings will become.
He might just
They will soon have issues completing
intoxicated.
everyday tasks and will
Adam.
experience short-term memory loss. Despite these feelings of fatigue and disorientation, targets report that their mind feels too active to fall asleep, anywhere other
Alec,
than a
you feel
hotel
that way?
room bed, that is. This feeling will usually cause the target to seek out their own hotel room, though they may have difficulty finding it due
Just
to
like
their
this guy
confused
did.
state. They don't need to sleep in their own room for the next stage of the Zalmunna event to be triggered, though. Sleeping in any hotel room will do.
So how do you guys think that you stop this from happening? Or if it already started, what do you do?
I would pretend like I'm asleep, but actually not fall asleep. So then I couldn't be in a sleep paralysis. So and then I would trick the golem and then wait for that thing to come in my room. Then when it hopped on top of me, bare knuckle hold.
Alec?
I think that's the only way.
I would wait all the way until the golem's on top of me and it sticks its tongue in my mouth and then bite its tongue.
I
Wait,
might start
guys.
French kiss it
That would
before
get
it
it.
could get me.
Hey, but why wouldn't you guys just leave the hotel?
Well, I paid for the night. I'm gonna stay the night. That's a waste of money.
Respectful.
Once the target lies down in a hotel room bed, they will immediately enter the hypnagogic state, which
Oh
is the
my
confusing
gosh.
and dreamlike state that one experiences in between full sleep and waking. The temperature of the room will begin to lower during this period as well, until it reaches approximately 11 degrees Celsius
is like
or
the entire
51.8 degrees Fahrenheit.
that is
How is
pretty
this
cold.
happening?
After about an hour, the target will enter a state of deep sleep, at which point SCP-5172-1
Oh!
will finally make its
Here's
appearance.
Johnny.
The humanoid-like entity is
disgusting.
quite diminutive in size, standing just 4 feet tall.
He looks like
and
an
appearing
angry
to weigh a little
6-year-old.
over 60 pounds.
Can other people that didn't
Its
eat the ice
arms
see
are
this
twice
thing?
as long as normal humans,
You'll
though,
see, Adam.
and the top
Alright,
of its
I
head
will
is
see.
enlarged as well. Though it is not visible to observers present in the room, cameras are able to record the creature.
Oh, there we go.
After phasing through the door of the hotel room, the 5172-1 entity will begin crawling towards the sleeping person, who will wake up to
Ew.
find that they are in a state of sleep paralysis.
gosh.
The entity will climb up onto the bed
Hey,
and sit on
yo.
the person's chest.
This is where they need like one of them SCP guys with the guns to barge in. How do they not know about this hotel yet? Like they have to know
didn't
people are
find it
dying.
yet. Yeah, but there's like thousands of hotels. They can't possibly go to every single one.
So they just let people die?
They have no other choice.
Well, we don't
Adam.
even know if this guy dies yet. Right now, they're just making out. This could be
It's
a good
about
thing.
to get a little bit more freaky than that.
It's been
It
pretty
will move
harmless
its
so far.
smooth-skinned face close
Here we
to the
goes, here we
target's
goes.
before
It's just
opening its
really
mouth,
weird.
revealing a long, thin proboscis-like
I feel
appendage.
like it's
that
gonna be
it
the guy
inserts
from
into the
Stranger
target's
Things!
tongue.
Oh my gosh!
Some theorize that it may be administering some type of paralytic or anesthesia directly into the brain, so that
Why
it
can
can
I feel that?
the next stage.
Why can I feel that?
Harvesting.
Why do I feel that?
There's the harvesting.
5172-1
Oh, gosh.
entity's chest then opens to reveal a
Nah.
pair of tools.
Nope.
It will
What?
take the tools out of its chest
Nope.
and
What?
use them to begin extracting
No!
4-centimeter cubes directly from the target's body. Flesh, muscle, organs, and even bone will all be cut and scooped out with the same ease.
This is the
which
worst
it then
SCP by
places
far.
inside of its own chest
This is
cavity.
It's literally a
disgusting.
walking
Starts the
treasure
process
chest.
extremely slow,
Ew.
collecting
This is
just
Minecraft
2 grams
IRL.
per minute
Cubes.
At first. It quickly ups its pace to as many as 50 cubes per minute.
What is it doing
leading
with
to the
them?
entire harvesting process typically lasting 2 to 3 hours.
2 to 3 hours?
Once it has finished harvesting, the creature will simply place
This
its
is the worst
tools
SCP.
back inside its
I don't
want
wanna see what the person looks like anymore. Please do not show the person.
And phase through it once more.
Please do
But
not show the
horror
person.
He's
is
gonna look
far
like a
from over.
Minecraft
There's
open
more,
world.
guys. There's more.
SCP-5172-1 collects all of the organic material from the target during the harvesting process.
do with it?
All except for the central nervous system, which includes the spinal cord, peripheral nerves, the retinas, and the brain.
That's how we feel things.
These are left lying on the hotel room bed after 5172-1 carefully cut and scooped around them. And the truly horrifying aspect of the Zalmunna event is that the target is still alive at
No!
this point and will
That's not
continue to
possible.
live
That
for
cannot
several
be
more
possible,
hours
right?
in
That
this
can't be
condition. Even
No.
worse, reports from targets who had
That's
the
like the
Zalmunna
worst.
event interrupted while in the middle of the harvesting process described being fully conscious the entire time. It now appears that the
Whoa.
proboscis-like appendage that 5172-1 inserts into the target's eye does not appear to be an anesthetic agent at all, since the same rescued targets reported
like
feeling
it.
I
excruciating
hate this.
pain.
I literally hate this. I can't even watch this.
Would you still want a French kiss and bite off his tongue?
I would do anything but this. Anything.
I would try. I would try.
If you bite off the tongue, then it can't get in your eye.
That might be the worst like form of torture I've ever seen in my
Wait.
life. It doesn't get worse
Alec,
than
you
that.
couldn't bite his tongue because you'd be paralyzed. I would be.
I think
fake
I'd
sleeping.
rather try to fight Shy Guy, the Sculpture, any other SCP.
That would be a quick
any other
death.
SCP.
At least they would just get you.
Exactly. This is painful.
This is slow.
It seems that the purpose of the entity's appendage is to ensure that the victim stays conscious through the whole process, fully aware of each cube being removed from their body. Helpless,
Do they feel it,
with
though?
nothing to stop
Yes,
it.
they
serial
feel
killer.
everything.
As mentioned, the triggering of a Zalmunna event
They just
is not
can't
a
move.
guaranteed death sentence and can be stopped. While much faster
here we
than
go. How do
humans,
we stop it? Let's take notes now.
SCP-5172-1 entities aren't especially strong and sustain damage much like
There
a
we go.
human would. Once it begins harvesting, the entity will
Alex,
become
that kinda
visible
looks like
to
you.
others and can
Oh,
be
this is what I'm talking
terminated
about.
by the same methods that would kill a human, such as with gunshots
Yes!
or stab wounds.
Get him!
However, simply killing the entity isn't enough.
Get 'em!
The affected ice machine must be physically removed from the premises.
It's all from
in
the
order
ice
to
machine? Are
prevent
you
a new
kidding me?
instance
Yes.
of SCP-5172-1
That's insane.
from materializing.
The ice machine starts
Once triggered through the
everything.
use of an affected ice machine,
Why?
the only
Who
way to
created the
completely
ice
stop a
machine?
I
Zalmunna
don't know.
event is for the target to leave the hotel and sleep in a private residence, which will prevent SCP-5172-1 from appearing.
I would have never done that.
If the target sleeps in any bed in the same or even a different hotel, the event will continue.
Oh my
Efforts
gosh.
are underway to better understand SCP-5172-1
Can he
entities
phase
by
through walls,
capturing
though?
a live specimen.
Yes.
But so far,
Then
all
how are they able to
attempts
capture
have resulted in failure. Captured entities are capable
Special
of manifesting their tools and cutting out of containment.
Exactly.
While all
Look at that.
attempts
See?
at binding or otherwise tying down the creatures has led to them dying within several minutes. Autopsies of dead instances
Ha,
have
right back
revealed
at
that,
you,
like us,
nerd.
They have a circulatory system, though its heart
but
is
they can't
located
even get any
in its
information
head,
out of this thing.
which explains how they can be killed by being shot or stabbed, but they lack respiratory and digestive organs. As you can imagine,
Do they- So they
the
don't even
existence of
eat anything.
SCP-5172 presents
Do
a
they eat
problem
the
for Foundation
flesh?
personnel
No.
and their business
No.
travel.
So why do they even do it?
Agents
For
who must
funsies?
stay in hotels
Yeah, for
rather than
funsies.
SCP safe houses are briefed on the anomaly
They're sick.
and required to wear
This is
heart rate
disgusting.
monitors that can detect when an elevated heart rate occurs that may be connected to a Zalmunna event. Social media, text messages, and other forms of communication from devices that are connected to hotel Wi-Fi systems are
Imagine they have like that heart rate detector thing to see the people's heart rates in the area. And they burst in thinking that they're about to like stop some crazy creature, and it's just like a bunch of guys playing Dungeons and Dragons.
At least they were safe, you know? At least it wasn't the SCP. They were just playing Dungeons and Dragons.
monitored at all times
like Alec
for
does.
any references to ice machines, and any mention triggers the dispatching of a containment team to the site who will attempt to identify and remove both the ice machine and the targeted individual from the premises. All ice machines discovered at locations thought to be affected by SCP-5172 are then relocated to Site 30.
This is an easy solution. Just destroy every ice machine. We don't even need ice. I will drink warm water. I'm good.
Same. Agreed. Get rid of all of the ice machines in hotels.
Just get rid of it everywhere. I don't even care. I would rather drink dirt. I kind of like dirt.
One final note. While SCP-5172 has long been thought to be a North American exclusive phenomenon, There has recently been one confirmed instance of an affected ice machine in Amsterdam,
no.
the Netherlands.
Alec, you were just in
Making it
Amsterdam.
even stranger
was.
is the fact that the Dutch do not seem to have the same mass public perception.
Alec, was there an ice machine in your hotel?
Alec, I think it's following you.
Alec,
I don't think so. I don't think that there was.
are you sure?
I don't think that there was.
Of the prevalence of hotel ice machines that North Americans use. And it is still unclear if this was a single isolated event or a sign that the Keter-class anomaly is spreading to other locations. Only time will tell. But in the meantime, even if you're staying outside of North America and want a frosty drink, consider paying the outrageous fees and grabbing an already cold one from a minibar.
Yes.
If you don't, you might find that you're paying for your refreshing beverage with much more than a pound of flesh.
Wow, that's a great ad for mini fridge items. Because that's all I'll be drinking from now on. I'm not touching ice.
Well, luckily, SCPs aren't real, guys, so we have nothing to worry about. Alec?
I actually think they're real.
Today, we're learning about an SCP that can steal your body.
That sounds horrifying.
Unless it can steal my fat, then it's probably a good SCP.
The man wakes up with a start. Did something just bite him? He looks down at his hand.
Oh gosh, it's
Something
already
definitely
starting.
bit him. He can see the red welt already forming. He looks around for the culprit, but can't find it anywhere. He really hopes he doesn't have bed bugs. That's the last thing he needs right now. He'll have to keep his eyes open for potential pests. He doesn't want this to happen again, since the spot is already starting to itch and feel uncomfortable.
I would probably get in the shower.
I'm just saying, I've woken up before and had like bumps or like scratches or, you know, a little bit of bleeding happening on my arms, my legs or something. Am I gonna turn into an SCP? Is what I'm trying to say.
I think what Dr. Bob is saying is there might be a chance, Alec.
Wait, why does Alec wake up with bumps and stuff on his body?
He lives in the
sometimes,
basement and he doesn't take showers.
Okay.
Oh, speaking of, I think I really need to get an exterminator.
How bad is it down there?
Pretty bad.
Oh gosh.
There's
Maybe
a
you
whole
should-
ecosystem down
I
here.
think-
Couple
you should just
days
take a shower.
passed, though, with no signs of other bugs. It must have just been a random insect that came inside his house to escape the winter cold.
Nope.
Yeah, no big
Spot
deal.
on his hand felt a little rough for
This
a day
is
or
gonna
two.
get dangerous.
But now he's pretty much forgotten all about it. Now what he really
it's been a
needs
couple
is
days
some
already.
coffee before sitting down to another coding session.
Let's go.
The man is in his kitchen trying to make a fresh pot of coffee, but finds he's having a hard time. He's not so much making
my-
as he is making a mess.
Oh my
He knocks his
gosh.
favorite mug onto the ground, breaking
Bro,
it,
what is
and
that?
decides that maybe he doesn't need coffee after all.
What is
Wait,
that?
wait. Did he not see that his hand, like, he had two fingers missing and a giant thing growing out of it? Like, did he not see that?
That his fingers are still his normal fingers. He doesn't realize that he's gotten taken over by this parasite SCP.
How does he not realize? It's literally right there. It's his whole hand. How do you not realize that?
It's almost
Okay,
like imagine like Alex, say you're like 7 years old and you have a full head of hair. And then over time, just like every year and year, you just lose a little bit of hair every time. And eventually you're bald, but you don't notice it. Like it takes a while. It takes a long time.
But
This
Adam,
was
this has
overnight.
been, this has been like one day, and he's missing like 2 or 3 fingers and has an alien growing out of his hand. How do you not notice that?
I like your theory, Adam, but I think more so it's probably that the SCP took over this guy's brain and it's making it not be able to see that it's turning into a parasite.
No, it's in its hand. How could it be in its
Yeah,
brain?
it's
That
literally
was
in
the
its
dumbest
hand.
take.
That's
That was
where
the
it
dumbest
starts,
take.
and then it goes up your arm.
No,
And
no
then
way.
where
No.
does it go? To the tallest point.
Jack, you're so dumb. I think the SCP has you.
Guys, you'll see.
A couple of nights later, as the man is watching TV, he starts to cough.
Oh.
Just
Oh
a little
my
at first,
gosh!
But then, more and more. The coughing fits get longer and deeper.
All right, Jack
too,
might have a
like
point.
They are coming from the very bottom of his lungs. He hopes he isn't coming down with something.
Okay, like, does he?
What do you mean? He hopes he isn't coming down with something. Your entire arm is a ball.
He doesn't know that though. But
But how?
He needs to see somebody.
he must not have any friends or family. It's the same thing with these coders, man. It's like Alec. He doesn't go outside.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Is his job is to be a coder, so he's probably just at home all day and doesn't even like talk to anyone else or go outside, so no one even sees him. But if anyone in the street saw that, they'd be like, "You're a freak, dude. That's gross."
Well, yeah, he should definitely go outside so that people can tell him that something's wrong. He can go to a doctor, and then the doctor can fix him.
Well, this is the problem, Jack. He thinks that he's sick, so he's not going to go outside when he's sick because you want to stay away from people.
Left the house in days, so how could he have? Can bugs transfer colds? He'll have to look it up later. For now, he needs to do something about this cough.
Ew, that
he
is
won't be able to
disgusting.
sleep if it keeps up.
I think
He
I would
needs
just
to go get some medicine.
go at Alex for it with
Oh
a
my
hatchet
gosh.
Man
if I
gets
saw him.
bundled up and heads out. It's lightly snowing as he walks to the pharmacy.
Here we go.
He can't
Wait, what if the SCP is like airborne? Like it is the cough, and he can cough on other people to spread it.
I'm sure that he probably could. That's how most things spread. And I'm guessing that's what the SCP wants. It doesn't want him to know that he's infected, so that he goes around and then does normal things, and then other people get infected, and then it spreads.
Oh my gosh,
He is a
horrifying.
super spreader.
They're gonna take over the entire world then.
He can't help but admire the way the moon hangs
This
in
is
the
terrifying.
sky. A beautiful beacon of light on this dark winter evening. Inside the pharmacy, he finds the cold medicine section and picks out a cough
Ew,
suppressant.
dude.
He takes it to the counter and decides to get a few candy bars too. He's developed a real sweet tooth these last few days. The man starts to cough again.
Ew.
It's a good thing
Oh,
he's getting
GG's.
this
She's
medicine.
dead. She's dead.
getting
She's
spread,
infected.
Several more
She's
days
infected.
pass.
Nobody
and the man
knew
isn't
about his
feeling
right
any
arm?
Better. This
They
cough
couldn't
just
see
won't
it.
go away. He decides
It's
it's
gotta be
finally
worse by
time
now.
to go see a doctor.
Okay, here
As
we
he
go.
sits in the
Finally.
doctor's office waiting room, he does his best to hold in his coughs, but he has a very hard time.
Wait a second, guys. Maybe part of the SCP is making it so that he thinks he has to cover up. Like, his hands are in his pocket. He's wearing long sleeves. It's like he doesn't want anybody to see his arm.
Wait, so he does know that his arm is weird, but he doesn't like care.
It's like a subconscious thing. Like, it's taken over the synapses in this guy's brain. So subconsciously, he thinks that something's weird with his arm so that he doesn't want to show anybody.
I didn't know I was
but he
gonna need a
doesn't
dictionary
realize
for this
that.
video.
You're using really big words.
What's going
now,
on
Jack.
here?
The woman on the other side of the room is coughing too. Strangely, it
it's the girl
actually
from
makes
the
him
CVS.
feel a little better. There must just be something going around. A nurse comes into the waiting room and calls his name.
This is about to
The
get really
doctor
bad.
is ready for him.
Does she?
No!
She has
Dead
it
in the
too.
examination
She has
room when
it
the doctor
too.
enters.
But she's not trying to hide it.
He's
Wait,
looking
was
over
that-
his medical record.
Was that the woman at the counter at the CVS or whatever, the pharmacy?
It was the super cute CVS worker.
Oh my gosh, I thought of that all on my own.
I just said
medical
that.
records and doesn't even
I
look up.
can't believe
from
I
his
remembered
clipboard.
that.
Good job,
He
Alex.
tells the man to take off his shirt
Me.
so that he can be examined, and the man obliges.
He looks horrible.
Okay, let's see what the trouble is. The doctor says.
I think he's gonna
He
find out
finally
very
looks up at the
quickly.
man and screams.
Burn it! Burn it! Burn it with the flamethrower!
The SCP
That is
heard
disgusting.
reports of people's limbs metamorphosing into insectoid appendages, and they knew immediately what they were dealing with.
That looks
This
so
was another
gross.
outbreak of the parasitic limb-transforming insect
I'm gonna throw
known
up.
as
This is awful.
SCP-150.
It just looks like a normal tick.
SCP-150 is an obligate parasite, meaning that it requires a
Oh.
host for the completion of its reproductive
Oh
life
my
cycle.
god.
Wait, Jack, that's a really good point. That looks like a regular insect. What if those things are real? What if that's real? That looks so real.
That's the thing about SCPs that are so scary is a lot of times they're based in reality. So stuff like this could happen and you have no idea if it's an SCP or just like a normal bug.
I'm itching my whole body right now. I'm nervous.
Going outside, I'm never gonna touch grass ever again.
Well, Jack, it happened
It bears a
inside.
visual appearance similar to that of
happened in his
Cymophila
bed.
exigua, another parasite
Whoa,
that
what is
eats the
this?
tongue of a particular type of fish before replacing the
Nah,
tongue with its
Nemo!
Oh,
own.
I've read about this.
SCP-150
But it's a real
engages
thing?
in similar
Yeah, it is.
behavior, though it appears to exclusively affect humans. When a human comes in contact with the small bug-like
I would just
organism,
bop! I would
it
swat
will
that
embed
thing.
itself
Kill
under
it!
its new
Kill
host's
it!
skin.
Ah!
Next, over the course of roughly 7
No,
days,
no,
SCP-150 will
See,
burrow
Adam,
deep
I was
into
telling
its
you.
flesh and begin to cause numerous physiological changes.
That is
to them.
disgusting.
First and
crawls
most
all
prominently,
over the insides of your body.
SCP-150 will begin a gradual process of altering the limb that is nearest to the original infection site.
How?
As SCP-150 burrows deeper and
Is anybody
consumes
else
the flesh,
itchy?
it
I'm
excretes a
literally- I can't
substance
even
that
sit
has
down
the
and watch
effect of
this.
replacing the missing sections of the limb with
bro.
polyamorphous material that resembles one of its own appendages. Beneath the chitin, the excreted
It's
substance
flipping us
forms
off.
a rudimentary nervous system that gives the host the ability to control the new limb as if it were their own.
Whoa.
As it feeds, SCP-150 also secretes several chemicals that contain anesthetic, immunosuppressant, and transplant-rejecting properties that
bug
keep the
is a
host's
genius.
body from responding to the changes, or even reacting at all. In
Whoa.
fact, the host will often report that their new limb is completely normal and feels
I'm
stronger and more
fine.
resilient after the transformation.
It's all good. See, look at me. I'm
SCP-150 will
fine.
continue to feed for approximately 1
What is it
to 2
feeding
weeks,
on?
and as it
Blood.
feeds on the nutrients within its host's body, it will begin to reproduce, creating eggs that it deposits directly into the bloodstream.
This is how it
While the
multiplies.
majority of these eggs will die off, enough usually survive to begin colonizing other parts of the host's body.
Oh
where
my
they will
gosh.
And repeat the process of feeding
This is
itself
insane.
and spreading.
Whoa!
It is theorized that it is capable of reproducing on its own, meaning that a single instance of SCP-150 is all it takes.
So basically, when it infects a person, the person is now the nesting ground for an entire civilization of these bugs.
It seems like it.
Is he about to turn into a bug, like his entire body?
I think eventually that seems to be the case, Adam. And also, it's so crazy that one bug can reproduce like thousands of other bugs.
I'm itchy!
Well, that happens in real life. There's one queen ant that just spits out babies.
Yeah, I bet that there's actually a bunch of eggs or something that are in the lungs, and he's coughing it all up. Like, that's how he's spreading it. I think that's what's happening. Because there's so many of them inside of him, so some are in the lungs that he coughs out.
Jack, get a shower now. Get it out. Get it out. We're never inviting Jack over again.
All right, we gotta go. Go. Watch the rest.
Colony.
I hate this.
Humans
I'm actually really
infected with
itchy.
SCP-150 will
Alec
sometimes
has a lot
report
of
slight
bugs in his
discomfort
basement.
and issues with their fine motor skills during this period.
Well, yeah,
but will
he doesn't
usually
have
not
a
express any
opposable
knowledge of
thumb.
what might be causing this. Eventually, SCP-150
I called
eggs
it.
will reach the host's lungs,
No.
where the process of assimilating continues, this time replacing the lungs themselves. During this process,
Replacing
more
the lungs?
eggs will be produced, laid, and then spread out of the body by the host's coughing.
I called it.
Alec,
As many as
you're a
10,000
genius.
eggs will
Oh
be
my
produced
gosh.
during this period. Approximately
Oh my
1% of
gosh.
which will survive being expelled,
That's
find another
1,000
host,
eggs.
and implant themselves. The assimilation
it's 100.
process then spreads to the central nervous system, including the spinal cord and brain. But strangely, the host will show no signs that their consciousness or behavior have been affected in any way.
Comment down below.
In interviews with hosts of SCP-150, those who are unaware that they are
Whoa,
infected
okay.
have not expressed any knowledge of changes happening in or out of their
Knowledge.
body.
I would think
When
someone's playing a
subjects are
prank
made
on me.
aware that they have been infected, they will be able to point out the site of the original infection.
So do you guys think that it takes over the entire body? Like eventually he's just going to turn into like a human-sized bug?
I think so.
Well, it seems like this infection has been happening to him for a while, and it's only taking over his arm. It's definitely taking over the entire insides of his body, though. I don't know what's going on in there.
I think
so I don't know if it's going to
eventually-
transform the rest of his body.
I think
or not.
eventually he's just going to be a bug. And we got to squash that bug for good.
I think they need to just burn his body alive. I mean, I know it sounds cruel, but just get a flamethrower, right? Just
That's a
little
human!
one.
What are you guys doing?
Just,
What are you...
Just a little flamethrower and just burn everything. Just
That's
I
murder!
actually
That is
agree.
murder! Guys, just give him some NyQuil, let him sleep it off.
Adam, he's gonna become a super spreader and he's gonna spread all over you, and then you're gonna want to burn him.
Call me a slice of bread. Let him
And
spread.
agree that a change has taken place, but they seem to have no ill will towards their new chitinous appendages, and will often express positive
waving?
feelings about it. In order to better study the effects of SCP-150
No.
under SCP Foundation
We're gonna do
control,
experiments on these
two
guys.
D-class personnel,
Yep.
That's so messed
D13732
up. R.I.P.
and D016002,
That is really messed up.
But
were
they're like
both
criminals and
infected with
stuff,
the
Alex, so-
parasites, and the assimilation
Still
process
messed
was
up.
allowed to
Yeah,
fully
it is. It's
progress
still messed
through
up.
all the stages. Following signs that D016002 was experiencing swelling of the brain, a decompressive
Oh.
Alec,
craniotomy
you're a
was
genius.
performed,
Oh.
a procedure in which a portion of the skull is removed in
I
order
remember
to
this
relieve
part.
pressure on the brain.
Oh my god.
Ew.
This surgery had the added benefit of giving Foundation researchers the chance to look at SCP-150's progress firsthand.
Adam, you might want to
But
close your
after
eyes.
A flap of her skull
This
was
gets a little
removed,
queasy.
The attending scientists did not find that the brain was swollen. They
Ew.
didn't
Don't
find
look
the
at him, don't
brain at
look.
all, but instead
Okay, look.
observed numerous instances of SCP-150 in the cavity where her brain should be.
Lord have
The defects had
mercy!
been partially
Wait, how is she still
skull,
alive?
but remained conscious during the procedure, and the scientists asked her several simple questions to which she was perfectly able to answer.
She is just a bug at this
They
point.
began removing some of the parasites, and as they did so, her answers became slower
They're like
and less
brain
clear.
cells.
Whoa.
It appeared that the SCP-150 instances had not just eaten and replaced her brain.
Oh my
they
gosh.
had become her brain.
Oh my
Oh my
goodness.
gosh.
For the
Whoa.
next experiment, they would use the instances
my gosh,
of
they just cut his head off.
SCP-150 that had been removed from D13732's nervous system after he had been euthanized following the discovery that his entire nervous system had also been replaced entirely
Oh my-
by
okay, I agree with the
SCP-150.
flamethrower now.
The
Yes,
parasites
that's what I'm
taken from
talking
his
about,
brain
Adam.
cavity were
We gotta
placed
get rid of
into
these bugs.
D016002s, and the results
Whoa.
were nothing short
They're
of
doing
incredible.
a brain bug
After
transfer.
observing a period of time where the organisms appeared to move and rearrange themselves within
They're like
her skull,
connecting, like,
she
neuro
regained consciousness.
system.
Oh, she's back.
Once awake,
They, like,
not only
revived her
did
with
cognitive
bugs.
functions
But
immediately
she
improve,
No, she
but
runs
is now
she
a
was asked
he.
to state her name. She told them it was Michael,
Whoa.
D13732's name.
They fused.
It is unknown why SCP-150 engages in this peculiar life cycle, but the danger it poses to humans and the difficulty in keeping it
I think these are
contained
aliens.
has led the SCP Foundation to classify it as Keter.
Yes, super
Some of
dangerous.
the more erudite researchers have taken to calling the parasite the Ship of Theseus, a play on the philosophical notion that questions whether something that has had all of its parts replaced is still fundamentally the same, or if it has become.
Oh,
something
there's
new.
the final
It's
form.
different. It's
Perhaps
different.
the
That's gotta be the
observation
final
of
form.
those infected with
Burn it.
SCP-150
We
can
need to see
shed
the final
some
form.
light on this
Burn
millennia-old
it.
question. Infected patients who are being studied are to be kept in Level 3 biohazard containment
so that's
cells
it? It's just
with
one
never
body
more
part?
than one infected host per cell. Cultures of SCP-150 adults and eggs are kept in vacuum-sealed glass flasks
But what
in
if
the
they get out?
Site-42 Infectious
Yeah.
Materials Lab.
How does
and
this
the
not
Foundation's
spread
standard
like crazy?
pathogen handling procedures are required to be followed at all times. Should any instance of SCP-150 be found outside of containment,
Yes!
it is to be immediately
Nice, Jack.
incinerated.
Yeah.
Now go and watch another entry from the...
Today we're reacting to SCP-999, which is one of the scariest SCP creatures in the entire universe, also known as the Tickle Monster. We're gonna find out his origins and how he became such a tickle master. If you don't leave a like on this video right now, he will catch you and he will tickle you.
Almost all cross-testing to kill or pacify SCP-682 had failed miserably. If you haven't seen it, go watch our video on the legendary hard-to-kill reptile to see just
saw
how
that one.
powerful and terrifying this creature is. It faced the Gate Guardian, an SCP with a flaming sword hotter than the sun, capable of tearing your atoms to shreds, and came out fine. In its face-off
Adam,
with the
you got torn to
horrifying
shreds.
SCP-096, also known as the Shy Guy, it broke the Shy Guy's mind and reduced it to gibbering despair. Even SCPs with supposedly unlimited powers simply refused to engage the beast in combat.
Wow.
So, when it was proposed that they test 682 with SCP-999, a creature known among Foundation staff as the Tickle Monster, the idea was considered laughable. 682 had been burned, suffocated, cut up, incinerated, and growled in the faces of the gods. How could this so-called Tickle Monster ever hope to survive an encounter, let alone
We're
win a
sleeping
fight?
on the Tickle Monster.
Some even believe that
So wait, boys, why do you think that the Tickle Monster is something that could go up against one of the hardest to destroy SCPs ever?
Well, from what I can tell, the Tickle Monster looks like a very cuddly, friendly being. So maybe it convinces all other things that it's actually super happy and jolly and a good dude. And then out of nowhere, from the depths of evil, destroyed. Easy peasy.
Wow. He pretty much crawled into my brain and pulled out all that information because that's exactly what I thought.
You guys are close.
even believe
but
that this was
not
the
that
last
close.
we'd see of
We'll find out.
SCP-999.
Comment down below what
But
you
what
think.
makes this story truly remarkable is that isn't how this played out. As you'll soon discover, SCP-999 is an amazing and unique SCP in and of itself. But its secret origins and its interactions with some other prominent figures in the SCP universe are what make this humble,
It's Shy
slimy
Guy!
creature beyond
There's no way
extraordinary.
the Tickle Monster is beating all
Prepare
these
yourself for
great
the
SCPs.
heartwarming, yes, you heard that right, the heartwarming story of SCP-999.
I don't think it's actually a heartwarming story. I think that he is convincing everyone that it is a heartwarming story.
For some
Alec
reason,
will not be tricked.
For some reason, the Tickle Monster reminds me of like Ditto from Pokemon. I feel like he's gonna be able to transform into anything.
Could be, could be. See, SCPs are not only very dangerous, they're not only very frightening, but they're very deceiving as well. And I think that this might be the most deceivious Pokemon SCP of all time.
Is the Tickle Monster in your room right now? I feel like he's getting you.
Alec, you might be onto something here, but I will say, I've only shown you boys the bad SCPs, the scary SCPs, but there's another side to SCPs that you haven't seen yet.
Well, let's find out.
Several highly trained agents on 682 Detail placed 999 into the immortal lizard cell.
He's always
Compared to the
smiling.
giant
Look at him.
reptilian sitting across from it, 999 wasn't much to
Hello!
look at. It's a large orange amorphous blob of anomalous slime. Weighing in
Mini
at
slime, it
around
looks like.
120 pounds, SCP-999 was nothing compared to the monstrosity it was supposed to face.
Wow.
While its weight has, in the past, caused minor injuries to some of its human handlers, it has never caused serious or long-lasting damage of any kind to a living thing. Even its diet consists only of candy and sweets,
the heck?
with a particular preference for M&Ms
This is
and
awesome.
Necco wafers. It
I wanna be
consumes
Tickle
these
Monster.
treats through the cell membrane of its slimy body, much like an amoeba. This extremely stretchy membrane means the creature is highly malleable, including the ability to stretch and flatten itself out to a mere 2 centimeters thick.
Wow.
At rest, the creature takes a dome-like shape around 2 meters wide and 1 meter in height. The
This reminds
closest
me of, like,
things the
Alex'
creature has to
eyeliner
limbs
up.
are prehensile pseudopods. Those are the arm-like projections normally seen on single-celled organisms, of which it has at least 3.
Oh my
The more you
gosh.
hear about this utterly harmless creature, the more that matching it up with the pure embodiment of absolute hatred known as SCP-682 feels downright cruel. In absolute contrast to the misanthropic attitudes of the reptile, 999 loves humans. It has a playful dog-like.
There's something else they're not telling us about SCP-999, the Tickle Monster. There's a dark side, and we're about to find out what it is.
Why do you think that, Adam?
'Cause-
It's just a cute, cuddly little orange ball.
No. It's never like
That's
that.
all it is.
No, it's not, Jack, and you know it. You know it. You're not
Sometimes,
telling
Adam,
us
you
something.
Just gotta believe.
You know.
You just gotta believe in something, Adam. You gotta believe that things can be good. The world is all filled with sunshines and butterflies and rainbows.
No!
They say that the people with the most amount of love have the most amount of hate as well. So maybe this guy has a
your
little
mom told
trigger, a little trigger in him that
gosh.
if you flick that trigger, boom, he goes nightmare mode and just destroys everything. That's what I think.
Yeah, we
attitude.
know.
Much like an overexcited puppy when approached, 999 will react with extreme joy and slither towards the nearest person in order to interact. It will leap onto them, using 2 of its 3 prehensile pseudopods to hug the person, while the third nuzzles the person's face, emitting
what?
high-pitched cooing and gurgling noises throughout. The creature is
probably
apparently present
gross.
in every
So
conceivable
slimy.
fashion, as even its odor has been reported to smell just like the favorite scent of whoever is smelling it. Examples have
Adam, what would it smell like for you?
Candies and sunshine.
Alec?
Freshly baked donuts. That's my favorite thing ever.
Mine smells like Alec's mom.
Oh, wait. Can I change my answer?
Yes.
Examples have included chocolate, fresh laundry, bacon, roses, and Play-Doh.
Play-Doh.
It's almost impossible to oversell
who's this
just how
Play-Doh?
beloved
Play-Doh does
and
not smell
benevolent
good.
this
Oh,
strange
yeah,
creature
that
is.
smells awful.
It's one of the
Definitely
rare
need that.
sapient SCPs to earn the safe class, and it's allowed to roam freely around its facility at all times, apart from a 1-hour bedtime period between 8 and 9 p.m. In the rare
trust it.
instances that 999 has caused harm to a worker at the facility, it immediately began to back away and contract its body while whimpering in a kind of dog-like apology. The closest the Foundation has ever come to having a real incident with the creature was the time someone accidentally fed it a can of caffeinated cola, causing it to become hyper for an hour before becoming visibly queasy. You'll be relieved to know that it's since made a
Got
full
a sugar
recovery.
rush.
But what would
Something
happen
is
when this
creepy about
whimsical
this, I don't
creature
know.
is forced to go toe-to-toe with the Foundation's most ill-tempered monster?
It would get
The
destroyed.
employees observing the test watched in suspense as 999 began to enthusiastically slither towards 682.
It should not be a close battle at all.
I think that it's kind of like SpongeBob, where if you punch it really hard because it's like jello-y, it doesn't actually take any damage. So it's like impossible to actually hurt.
So you're saying like they're both invincible and impervious to all damage?
Yes, impervious.
How
yes.
do you win and how do you lose? I don't, like...
Adam, it's not all about winning and losing sometimes, okay? It's just about becoming friends and learning more about the other person.
Exactly. That's why it's a tickle monster. Maybe it just tickles you to death because sometimes I laugh so hard I can't breathe and maybe that's what it does.
Exactly. A little laughter cures everything.
It's no surprise that after being tortured and almost killed hundreds of times during testing, 682 had grown jaded to the cross tests it was regularly subjected to. When it saw this strange orange blob squelching across the ground towards it, it sighed and groaned, expecting the worst. "What is that?" the creature asked of its gelatinous guest.
Sounds like Batman.
SCP-999 began jumping up and down in front of 682
Ayo.
like an excited puppy, creating a
I'd be
high-pitched
so
squealing
confused
noise.
if I was at SCP.
Just as it regarded all living things, 682 thought the creature bouncing around before it was disgusting and hardly worth the effort to destroy. Was the Foundation even trying anymore? With a single vicious stomp, 682 flattened the friendly creature beneath one of its feet. Observers were prepared to charge in and liberate 999 from under 682's claws. But then something truly unexpected happened. The expression on 682's
Something crazy
acid-eaten face began to slowly change.
It's
It
gonna
was
tickle him.
beginning
He's like he's
to
about to
smile.
laugh.
Observers
Yeah!
recorded a noise what they
It's
thought could
gonna
have been a
work.
chuckle as the creature growled
What?
and said, "What is this?
He's tickling his hand.
Feel good."
Hey, yo! Yo, Tickle Monster, what are you
Stunned
doing?
at what was happening, 999 began to slither and crawl up from between
Oh my
682's
God.
toes.
Step monster,
Reformed
chill.
on its scaly leg and slithered up along its side.
Whoa!
until it reached the neck. There it
It's going
began
all the way
to
to its
nuzzle like it
face.
had
They're best
never
as
nuzzled
buds.
before.
This guy's
The
crazy.
results spoke for themselves. 682 was grinning and chuckling. repeating a phrase that the Foundation never would have imagined coming from 682. Feel so happy.
What?
Happy.
So this is just a little ball of sunshine.
Happy.
Pretty much.
Just when you thought SCP-999 couldn't possibly be more adorable, you learn about its greatest power, bringing joy. Anyone and anything that comes into contact with the creature, even in passing, will experience a kind of mild euphoria. As one's contact with the creature is prolonged, this overwhelming sense of joy increases and continues long after you've separated from it.
It can't be
Prolonged
this good
contact
all
has
the time.
completely cured depression, anxiety,
It is,
and
Adam.
PTSD, along with a number of other conditions.
There's something they're not
including
telling
rage
us,
and
I know it.
antisocial personality disorders. Serial killers practically become saints after coming into prolonged contact with 999.
What?
And in that moment, 682 was no exception.
This thing is
And
awesome.
there truly does not appear to be no exceptions. While causing happiness and joy isn't a dangerous weapon, when it comes to SCP-999, it is an extremely powerful one. And what's more, SCP-999 also appears to have an innate sense for those who need its help most.
It's like one of those
With a
therapy
particular
dogs.
affection for the hurt and the
Exactly.
unhappy. The creature appears to be a true altruist on a
invincible.
fundamental level, even risking its own safety to help humans during dangerous containment breaches.
He's never
In
not
one
smiled.
dramatic instance, 999 leaped into the air to block a bullet from making contact with a member of staff.
Let's go.
As a result, the creature is pretty much universally loved by all members of Foundation
Alex, do
staff.
you love it?
It's the one
I think I
SCP
do.
who has
I'm
never
starting to
made
love
It's
it.
trouble
making me
for anyone.
happy.
Back
I
in
know.
SCP-682's containment cell, the beast was still
if it's-
smiling and laughing
what even
as
is it made
999
out of?
rubbed against its neck.
That's what I'm
It was an
curious
event
about.
so
Honey?
strange, so unprecedented,
something
that the
nasty,
observers
probably.
in attendance felt like they were hallucinating. For a few minutes, the monster kept
mind
dreamily
control.
repeating the word, happy. But then, suddenly, the creature began to enter a fit of uncontrollable, booming laughter. It rolled onto its back, slamming its huge tail against the
Whoa,
door.
what
It
the
had just
heck?
fallen victim to one of
I wonder if it
999's
can slither
favorite
into its ear and
pastimes,
take over its brain.
tickle fights. Hence how
Tickle
it earned
fights.
its
It
wants to
tickle
take
monster
over.
nickname among
It
staff.
just wants to tickle.
I
The
don't
tickle
know,
fight
Jack.
continued until
That's how it
682
starts.
appeared
It just
to
wants
tire
to-
and fall asleep.
It always starts with a tickle
smile
fight,
still on
and then
its
it
face.
gets dirty
After
and
15
bad.
minutes of inactivity, 2 D-Class personnel were commanded to enter and retrieve SCP-999 from the containment cell. They did so successfully, but as soon as 999 was removed, 682 roused from its slumber and released a powerful psychic attack from its entire body while laughing maniacally. It rendered all personnel within a certain distance incapacitated.
Tickle monster give that
as
thing
they
powers?
collapsed in fits of
Ah,
laughter, allowing
got me.
682 to escape and
Jack.
go on a violent rampage.
Wake up, Jack.
However, in spite of this, 999 showed no fear and helped save some of the bystanders as security officers subdued and recaptured 682. And even after all of this, 999 showed no hard feelings towards 682 and indicated a desire to play again.
He's the perfect
It's a creature whose
SCP.
capacity for love is
He's
so
my new
limitless
friend.
that it's practically
I love
immune
him.
to fear. Which is all well and good, because the true enemy that 999 is destined to face is infinitely more powerful and terrifying than 682 could ever hope to be.
Isn't that the most
What is
powerful
this
thing in the
monster?
universe?
And why should 999 have
Is
to
it the
face
devil
someday?
himself?
The answers
SCP
to
devil?
these questions all lie in the true origins of SCP-999.
Okay, finally.
Available only to those with level 5 clearance and beyond.
We're getting into the juice.
It's a perfect example of how something good can come from the darkest places. There
is
would
what
be
I was
no
talking about.
SCP-999 without
something evil, too. There's an evil
SCP-231-7.
side.
SCP-231 was a collection of 7 girls, all impregnated.
Okay, before they get into this, my prediction is that SCP-999, also known as the Tickle Monster, is feces from SCP-231. Now, hear me out. Look at its shape. What does it look like? It looks like a turd. It probably smells like a turd.
You don't even know what the next SCP that you're talking about even is. How do you know that it can poop?
It said that it smelled good. Why do you think that it smells like a turd? Are you into that, or
Well,
what do
some
you mean?
poop smells good. First off. Second off, these 9 moms are about to impregnate some sort of Power Ranger combined force.
7, Adam. 7.
7. That's what I said. Just watch the video and watch me prove you guys all wrong. Just watch.
I don't even know what your point was,
There
but
would
okay.
be no SCP-999 without SCP-231-7. SCP-231 was a collection of 7 girls, all impregnated by horrific nightmares in a ritual performed by a cult known as the Children of the
Yep.
Scarlet King.
Yep.
Sounds horrible.
Each of these girls, over the years that followed, gave birth to some of the most horrific monsters imaginable.
All gingers.
One of which, according to some, was SCP-682. These beings were manifested by the Scarlet King, a powerful interdimensional nightmare god believed to be behind a great deal of the darkness and horror present within R and many other dimensions. Foundation higher-ups have declared the Scarlet King to be the greatest existing threat to the multiverse at large. And SCP-231 was his latest direct interaction with our universe.
Oh, okay.
The only surviving member of SCP-231, SCP-231-7, gave birth in secret. But she didn't give birth to a monster. She gave birth to SCP-999.
So do you guys think that because it came from the Scarlet King, that this is actually an evil monster? Just like messing with the brains of everything around it.
Oh, that's a good theory, Jack.
I think this is actually one of the most evil SCPs ever.
I was kind of right, because he did kind of get pooped out. Just,
Right,
yeah. Kinda.
Right, yeah, no, but no, so you don't know exactly what its motives are. It seems all good and dandy. It just wants to be friends with you and make you happy. But why does it want to make you happy?
You never should trust anyone that's always smiling. They always have something that they're hiding behind their face.
A being of pure goodness. That's right. The nicest, kindest, cuddliest SCP of all is the
Alex,
direct
stop
descendant of a being that's essentially the dark god of all evil. Feel free to take a moment to absorb that.
How does that
It's
even
actually
happen?
half
The
human.
creature even healed the girl who birthed it and allowed her to return to normal life with her family once more. From its first moments, SCP-999 was making positive changes to the world around it. And according to ancient texts from a Scarlet King-aligned culture known as the Deivas, SCP-999 is still very much in its infancy. Yet it already has the power to pacify its monstrous
So
siblings
it's
like
only
the
a baby
aforementioned
still.
I think he's gonna try to
682.
take over the planet.
It's believed, according to some prophecies and Foundation theories, that the power of SCP-999 will grow exponentially.
Yo!
What the heck?
Go ahead,
Why
SCP.
does this matter? Well, it's believed by some that one day, 999 will grow powerful enough to overthrow not only its own monstrous siblings, but the thought to be unstoppable Scarlet King himself.
Wow.
Not through
Interesting.
violence
so it's
or
like
hate,
Zeus and Kronos.
but through the pure force of happiness
Jack,
and
that's
love
perfect.
burning out the darkness and purifying the corrupted. While the humble SCP-999 rarely outshines its frightening competitors, to those truly in the know, 999 is one of the most powerful and valuable SCPs in existence.
And he's so squishy.
And may be the greatest asset in the Foundation's arsenal for the war against dangerous anomalous activity. After all, what could strike more fear into their hearts than the knowledge that it might be love rather than firepower that finally dethrones the Scarlet King? And for the knowledge
No
that
way
it may
that would
one
work.
day save everything we know from a fate so much worse than
Don't eat it.
death,
Don't eat
with
the
nothing
planet.
but affection for everyone and everything, it's worth offering thanks to the little orange blob, or at least an extra pack of M&Ms before bedtime.
And boys, that is the story of the most powerful SCP to ever exist.
So all SCPs aren't that bad. I thought they were
No.
evil. Wow.
no,
Okay.
that is
okay.
a nice SCP.
I don't know. I'm still suspicious. I'm still very suspicious of that thing.
Well, guys, comment down below your thoughts on the Tickle Monster. Go ahead and tickle the like button while you're down there and click right here to learn more about SCPs.